Welcome, explorers. Previously on In the Fog, we have left deciding which stories are true or false up to you, the viewer. But this time, our story is absolutely true. How do I know this? Because it happened to me only 2 weeks ago. I present to you Lady in the Fog. Living on a farm in rural Georgia has always been peaceful, if anything. My farm is in the middle of nowhere. The closest neighbor is over a quarter-mile away. Thanks to the hills and trees, no other buildings are even visible from the farm. The night it happened was in January. It wasn't that cold, oddly enough. Georgia weather can be like that. So I let the dogs sleep on their heated beds outside. It was foggy that night, however. When I drove home at only 7 p.m., I couldn't see a thing. It seemed like you would be able to grab the fog itself. The dogs woke me up at midnight with some of the loudest barking I had ever heard. They seemed rather upset. I went outside expecting to see a coyote. They're pretty common and often venture closer than I would like. What I saw was not a coyote. The dogs were barking at something else. Someone else. Across the yard from me, a woman stood in the fog. She wore what looked like a white nightgown or loose-fitting dress. Her hair was pulled back tightly and her skin was pale. Paler than anything I'd ever seen. Normally, the dogs are immediately friendly towards other people, but they seemed to be taking the opposite approach that night. The woman stared directly at me. I was shocked by her appearance. My larger dog started to advance towards her as he barked, and I laid a hand on him to keep him calm. As I did, I looked down for a mere instant, and when I looked back up, the woman was gone. If she'd been a physical being, she could not have found cover that quickly. Normally, I would have assumed this was just an illusion created by the fog, but the dogs saw her too. Now when I venture into my yard at midnight to check for coyotes, I always look in the direction where the woman stood and wonder if she will return. Well, explorers, what say you? Who was the woman I saw on that winter night? Was she a victim of an unspeakable crime who was buried in the nearby woods? Was she a spirit from the past who once lived on this land? Or was she nomadic, traveling with the fog? I doubt I will ever know. Join us next time as we continue our search for the unknown and follow her into the fog. In the Fog was created by Paul Kelly Jr. and Lionel Jeffries. Experienced and written by Paul Kelly Jr. Edited by Paul Kelly Jr. Produced by Lionel Jeffries and Paul Kelly Jr. Music by Doug Maxwell. Join us next time as we hear about more horrors from deep underwater.